Hello everybody and welcome to Toxic Geek Gaming. It's been a week now. I've had time to rest, so now I want to bring to you guys what I think about Phantasy Star Online 2. So, little previous history about me, guys. I played the first Phantasy Star back on the Dreamcast. Haven't picked any of them up since. I thought the game was great, but never really had a way to play the other games or get on the Japan server. So I went into PSO2 basically as a brand new player to the franchise, almost except for the first game, and definitely new to this, even though it's been out in Japan for 8 years. But I do have a long history playing regular MMOs, Ultima Online, EverQuest. Back in the old golden days is where I got my start in MMOs. So I've got a lot of practice in them. So I'm going to bring you guys my thoughts on what I think about the game. So the first topic I'm touching on is the dev team. So everyone knows the fiasco that happened Friday night with the servers going down and back and forth. Some of the community was really great, and then some of them, of course, were toxic, as you guys will always see in every big community. But the dev team was on par, keeping us updated about every 30 minutes what was going on, thanking us for the support all the time, and just interacting with the community on Twitter. That shows that they care about their player base and listen to what we have to say, which is phenomenal, because you don't get that much in any game anymore. Every game that you play, they release it, there's a bug, they just say leave them alone, let them get it fixed, which is not the way to be running an organization. So kudos to the dev team over there. You guys did excellent, engaging with people even whenever the servers were down, kept it a lot of fun. A lot of people streamed it during the whole time. Even I streamed most of it until like the last 20-30 minutes, and I had to go to bed because I had to work, which was kind of a struggle. But I am glad they listened to us. They did extend the beta, which was absolutely wonderful. I definitely appreciate it, guys. It was a lot of fun. So the second part I want to talk about is the overwhelming aspect of how big Phantasy Star Online 2 is. It blew me and my friends away of how many options there were. Subclasses, your regular class, all these different builds, getting your mech, trying to feed your mech up. And it just got insane, and we started looking all right, we don't want to mess anything up, so we actually looked up some guides, different things like that, so we didn't mess anything up on our first characters. But the majority of what we did was play through it to understand the controls, the concept, and some basic understanding. Now, I did have to work quite a bit over the weekend, but I did manage to make it to level 30, and that's because I had help from some people that were playing it almost 30 hours straight. It seemed like it's trying to help us level up and explaining different concepts to us, which was really, really helpful. So thank you guys for that. The community is absolutely wonderful and very helpful. Now, I started out with the Bouncer class. To me, the Bouncer class was just something that drew me into the game. I really liked the idea of the rocket boots and the fast mobility. I'm used to playing rogue characters that wants to get behind the enemy, do all the backstabbing type content. So the Bouncer seemed like the right fit for me. And I can tell you, I leveled up the Bouncer to level 30, and I also leveled up the Hunter to level 17. Both of them played dramatically different, but close enough to the same that I can pick it up and grasp it. And both my wife and one of my friends were playing the magic users. They were running Force, Tekker, and even a little bit of the Summoner thrown in there, trying to grasp the concept of magic and stuff. And they said it all went really smooth too between all three of them. Different spells, different layouts. And it seemed really, really interesting. And one thing that we were lacking at the start, so kind of a hint for everybody that wants to get into this, is you have your combo abilities, which is great, but that's only half of what you guys can do. We didn't realize at first that you could take your sub-palettes and make your own loadouts for abilities and things like that. Once we figured that out, man, it just opened up so many more options for us. We were doing different combos, different things like that, and it was just crazy the stuff that we were throwing together. So all in all, over the weekend, we ran a bunch of urgent quests together, which I have to say, guys, if you guys have not checked out Urgent Quest during the beta, that's the whole reason they wanted us in there. I don't know why you wouldn't have. But it was the most fun thing we had ever done. I remember the first one we did, there was 12 of us running in, and the boss died in 2 seconds. And we're like, okay, well, that was different. But then as it went on, we kept running them, and it got less and less and less people. And then the challenge really came out to us. And then it was us trying to master our own skills to not die over and over again on this boss, which was very, very interesting. And it actually wasn't until 15 hours in that we figured out we could revive each other. We were just dying, spawning on the ship, running back in as fast as we could to get back to the boss. And then someone was like, hey, you guys know you got revives, and we didn't even know it. So, I'm going to tell you guys, if you are going to start this out at launch, take the time, read all your items. The description of them is going to be really helpful. This game is going back to like the old MMO roots, which is what's drawing me in so much. Being an old MMO player. I want to sit down, I've got to read the description of every item. I need to decipher what hotbar I want them on because you have limited space. And then just determine how you want to go about it. And that is just for the core concept of the game. That's not going into your builds, your weapon enhancements, things like that is another whole video. And at launch, I'm planning on making plenty of videos for you guys. Plenty of guides to help you guys along as well. Once I get a little better grasp on it. This is just kind of an introduction of my thoughts and how to get you guys involved. I will say during this week, just like everybody else that was in the beta, withdrawal is real. This game was so awesome, so addicting. Going back to any other game just seemed like it was only half as fun, if you would even say that. So, I'm not going to say the game ruined other games for me, but it showed me the potential and what a game could be. And for a game that came out 8 years ago, really opened your eyes. So let's take a minute here and talk about that. The game came out 8 years ago, and everyone's like, oh, but it's dated. Why are they doing this? Well, 8 years ago, we didn't have DLC after DLC after DLC. Buy this to unlock this. Buy this to unlock this. We released full games. And Phantasy Star Online 2 has grown a lot in the 8 years, as every MMO has. But you can tell whenever, at its core, it's a full game. And I don't know if it's because I'm a little older, or I'm used to that, or what, but that drew us in so much. We weren't going to run around for 15, 20 minutes to find out that we had to buy something to continue. Now, saying that though, when the game does launch, I am planning on dropping some money on this game, guys. Extra character slots, extra skill trees, more storage space, you name it, I want it. Like, this game is making me want to spend money on it, which is something I haven't said in a long time. The other thing is, I did post on their, at the end they asked us all to do a survey. I did put that survey in, gave them a few feedbacks. So, being a game developer and a long-time gamer, like I've been playing games since I could hold a controller, guys, I gave them some beneficial feedback that might help gameplay-wise and to help hold their audience together, because there was just a few slight things that I thought was missing. One of that was the 4-player grouping was great for you and your friends, but for urgent quests where you have 12 people, it'd be nice to be able to actually form raid groups. And we couldn't really figure out a way to do that. It might be in the game at launch, I'm not sure. But other than that one thing, the game is definitely worth checking out, guys. It's going to be free to play. There's no reason to not check it out. And until then, we'll see you later, Arts. And as we always say over here, keep it toxic, keep on gaming, and we'll see you next time.
Why is it not letting us use the teleporter?
No, try using it. There we go. Hey, look at the frozen wolf. Over here, Wolfie.
Oh, I'm so glad I dodged that.
Where you at, Tox?
I kicked it in the butt and it died.